everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Fiddle. I am an artist, a crafter, and a miniaturist that likes to teach others that they can be creative too. Link to Scavenger Hunt, patterns, and materials is listed in the description box below. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. It really helps me out a lot with YouTube's algorithm. Okay, are you ready? Let's go. Okay, some months ago, I made this horrible pantry that I've wanted to remake for quite some time. And I came across this hutch while looking for ideas, and it caught my attention, and I really liked it. But the problem was, I had to try to figure out how to go from photo to actual hutch, which I've done before. I did that with the wood cooking stove. This had so many different levels to it and a lot more pieces. Altogether, it took 4 days to build, one for pattern, one for mock-up, one for final, and then the details. The reason why I didn't have a pattern with this, through the process of actually building it, I changed the pattern a few times. I do plan on trying to make one eventually. Let me know in the comments if you would like one. To get started on this project, I had realized ahead of time that my best bet was to start with the bottom piece first. I cut all of my pieces out of wood and sanded them before I started recording. Then I marked out all of my connecting points so I knew where to glue them. Next, I went through and taped all of the edges of the cardboard pieces that we're going to be showing. We just want it to be smooth. Now, I probably should have done that out of cardstock or something a little bit more sturdy. It would have made a crisper edge like wood. The tape kind of folded a little bit to give a little bit of a crease, but not enough to make it look like wood. I trimmed all of the ends of the tape off. When I was making the cardboard piece, I just folded them, and that made a gap in between the pieces, and I wanted to try to avoid that as much as possible. Then it came time to put all the pieces together. I started with the very bottom of the hutch and then added the back wall first, then worked my way from one side to the other, putting in the shelves. The space where the three drawers originally are supposed to go, I thought about putting a pull-out cutting board type area, but I have not done that yet. I wasn't sure how to make a leg for it when I was thinking about it, but now I could probably just pull out the door itself and prop the wood piece up with the door instead. That's a thought. Okay, now we're going to move on to the top part. Just like I started for the bottom, I marked out on the back piece where all the points where the shelves are going to be attached. Unlike the bottom piece, I had to start in the center of this one because of it being two different levels on each side. It was easier to put this piece in as a marker or a guideline for the other pieces. Next, it was on to the cardboard. I started with the little doors on each side first, using the tape as a hard edge. I would suggest making these little cubbies out of wood because they are such a prominent area on there. Thankfully, I had mine covered up with the drawer faces. Now that the main body is built, I had to decide on where I wanted the accent. I knew, of course, the drawer faces would help, but I liked the idea of having the wood in the back. And having the wood accent up in the upper cupboard with the door didn't really make sense, so I decided not to put them there. But I did put them along the back, which would probably be like a backsplash area. And these are corn dog sticks. I like the color variation that you can get with no effort. You would be surprised on what you can use to make miniatures. After getting the wood slats finished, I had to figure out what I wanted to do with them. In the end, I decided to do a barn door style. It completely veers left of the actual reference and gave it quite a bit of character. Next, I mixed up a batch of glue and drywall mud, or joint compound, and filled in all of the cracks and gaps. After filling in all the gaps, I finished the barn door look so I could fill the gap in them as well. Next came the part that I liked the least, and that was making the actual drawers. I had to change the pattern for these so many different times. By the time it was done, I had no idea what size they were or what the measurements were. It was just that they actually fit together and that you could open and close them. With the hard part over, I taped everything that I wanted to leave wood, painted it with a seafoam green type color, which when it's dark outside looks kind of neon. So when I was painting this, I was a little worried that I was going to wake up the next morning and it was going to be pretty bright. Thankfully, it wasn't that bright, and I moved on to sanding or distressing all of the pieces. I liked the way that it looked after the distressing, but I wanted more of a wood color to show through. I went back over with a watered down brown as a wash and wiped it away to give it a more realistic wood look. And I did that all over the piece, even on the pieces that I left wood. And that brings us to the end of this project. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because it really helps me out a lot. And we'll see you next time.